In this video, I will show you how to combine two models, one captured below a floating roof and one captured above a floating roof. Prior to this, both sets were registered individually with the internal registration method shown in the complete analysis video. First, I will load the bottom model. I want to color all the scan layers green so that I can differentiate it from the top model later on. Next, I want to center the shell near the floating roof. If you haven't set the horizontal and vertical reference yet, do it at this point. Second, I will load the top model. I want to make this model active so that all operations apply to the top model and not the bottom. I want to color all the scan layers red so that I can differentiate it from the bottom model. We need to move the top model above the bottom model so that the floating roof is roughly at the same elevation in both models. We do this by drawing a line from the current floating roof elevation to the actual floating roof elevation. Then, we use the Translate Line tool. Like we did with the bottom model, we want to center the shell near the floating roof. This aligns the central axes of both models. Next, we need to align the horizontal rotation of the top model to the bottom model. To do this, we find a common feature between the two, and we use the Line Rotate tool to roughly align the features. Taking a horizontal slice that allows us to see the feature in both models, we can manually rotate the features into place. Finally, we will match the elevation between the two models. We do this by selecting a common section of the floating roof and then using the Match Elevation tool. This tool will fit a plane to each model and line up the planes using the thickness of the floating roof. If you use common roof areas instead, you can use this same technique, but with a 0 thickness. The last step is to combine the two models. Simply drag the top model over top the bottom model. At this point, it is a good idea to save the entire combined set under a different file name. This will allow us to return to the original files if we need to adjust the separate models for any reason. I want to make the combined model active, so any subsequent operations apply to the combined model. When we go to classify this model, we do it the same way as with an internally scanned tank with no floating roof. The only difference is that we want to select the floating roof option in the auto classification dialog. uniTank will automatically detect and clean up the top side of the floating roof. Before you continue editing, ensure that you set the combined set as active so that any of the functions you apply to this dataset.